This video is about how to get back at a woman who hurt you and ignored you, and I want to be clear from the very beginning what that actually means, because it's probably not what you think. I'm not talking about revenge, manipulation, or trying to win by causing pain. I'm talking about psychological recovery, emotional power, and self-respect. I'm talking about the kind of response that changes the dynamic. Without you saying a single cruel word, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever been ignored by someone you cared about, dismissed without explanation, or left feeling small and confused, this conversation is for you. Now here's where this gets controversial. Most men think getting back at a woman who hurt them means confrontation closure, talks, or proving their worth. From years of therapeutic work, I can tell you those approaches usually deepen the wound. They keep you emotionally tied to someone who already showed you they were comfortable disconnecting from you. That's not strength. That's self-abandonment dressed up as effort. In my work, I've sat across from men who were calm on the surface, but fractured inside. They weren't angry because they were ignored. They were angry because being ignored made them question their value. That's the part no one talks about. Silence doesn't just hurt. It destabilizes identity, and when a man feels destabilized, he often reacts in ways that quietly confirm the very dynamic that hurt him. Here's the experience-based truth. The most powerful response to emotional harm is not reaction. It's regulation. When you regain emotional control, you reclaim authority over yourself. And when a man does that, the entire relational balance shifts. Sometimes the other person notices, sometimes they don't, but either way, you stop bleeding internally. This video isn't about teaching you how to hurt someone back. It's about teaching you how to stop hurting yourself in the aftermath. It's about learning why being ignored affects you so deeply, what it triggers beneath the surface, and how to respond in a way that restores your dignity instead of eroding it. If you stay with me through this, you're going to hear things most men are never taught. Because emotional power doesn't look loud. It looks grounded. 1. Why being ignored hurts more than rejection. Being ignored hurts more than rejection. Because rejection has an ending, while silence keeps the wound open. When someone tells you directly that they don't want to continue, your mind can at least process reality. Ignoring you, on the other hand, leaves you suspended in uncertainty. This section matters because most men misunderstand what they're actually reacting to. They think they're upset about the woman, but what they're really reacting to is the psychological effect of being erased. In my professional experience, I've seen men struggle far more with silence than with clear rejection. Silence triggers the brain to search for meaning. You replay conversations, analyze your last message, question your tone, your timing. Your value. The mind fills in gaps. And those gaps are rarely kind. This is not weakness. It's how the human nervous system responds. When connection is abruptly withdrawn, without explanation. What makes ignoring especially painful is that it activates a sense of powerlessness. When someone ignores you, you lose the ability to respond, clarify, or correct. You're left talking to your own thoughts. Over time, this creates internal pressure. Many men then feel an urge to do something, send another message, explain themselves, demand clarity, because action feels better than emotional helplessness. But that urge often leads them further away from self-respect. Another reason ignoring hurts so deeply is because it suddenly attacks identity. You don't just feel unwanted, you feel invisible. I've worked with men who were confident in every other area of their lives, yet one episode of being ignored made them doubt everything. That's because the pain isn't about the relationship itself. It's about what silence suggests. You're not important enough to respond to. Even when that interpretation isn't true, the emotional impact feels real. There's also something important to understand here. Ignoring is not always intentional cruelty. Sometimes it's emotional avoidance. Sometimes it's confusion. Sometimes it's immaturity. But the nervous system doesn't care about intention. It reacts to loss of connection the same way it reacts to threat. That's why your body tightens, your sleep changes, and your thoughts become restless. This is where men often go wrong. They personalize the silence and turn it into a verdict about their worth. That's when pain turns into obsession and hurt.